Hey, I'm Scott from the Scott and Kelli Show, and I'm really glad you're here because we're about to jump into an interview with some of the stars from the new Netflix show, A Week Away. It's a brand new movie about summer camp, and what's awesome, it features some of your favorite K-Love music from guys like Steven Curtis Chapman, Amy Grant, Michael W. Smith, and For King and Country. It is a fun, family-friendly movie that you'll all enjoy, and if you're not dancing by the end of it, there is something wrong with you. Here we go, behind the scenes. We're joined by Kevin Quinn, Bailey Madison, and Jabril Cook, three of the stars of the movie. And you guys have done an incredible job of making a really fun, faith-based family movie.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Just to give people a background, this is a movie that's really kind of a coming-of-age movie. And Kevin, your character, Will, is in a position where he's run into some trouble and is really kind of at his wit's end as to what to do, and kind of given an option of like, hey, you're gonna go into juvenile detention or you're gonna go to camp with a foster family. And seeing the story unfold and seeing you guys bring to life the importance of friendship and relationship is something that was really cool in this movie.
Yeah, it's a really heartwarming film. I know personally, when I signed on to do the project, I wasn't expecting anything really. I didn't know what it was going to be. And I think that was the majority of us. All we knew was we were taking in a ton of creative people, putting them on the same set, and each one gave their little pixie dust to bring something different to the table. And by the time we saw the end product, I think we were just all so pleased with the result.
To see you guys choreograph songs like The Great Adventure and Dive, and just to see that come to life in a whole new way, I think is really cool, because these are songs that, for those of us who are Christian music fans, we've known and loved for a long time, but for a lot of people, these will be brand new songs they've never heard before, seen come to life in a really cool way. Speaking of Steven Curtis Chapman and Amy Grant, they had cameo roles in the movie, and so yeah, when you see them pop up in the movie, you're like, hey, that's Steven Curtis Chapman on the lifeguard stand. Yeah. Do any of you think that Steven Curtis Chapman would have been able to save your lives had somebody had an incident on the beach?
I think so, for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think that guy's got a big heart. I've only met him once, but he seems to be a big heart. I'm sure he'd dive in. Hey, no pun intended.
How important was your faith to each of you, and getting to live that out on screen in the movie?
I really love the story of Jesus, and maybe that's just me, but I just relate to his story so much, and I've read a little bit of the Bible, and I don't know, his story has had a pretty big impact on me, and at the end of the day, like, it's a really important part of my life, because I had at one point shunned my faith. I was not sure about it. I had a ton of doubts. I went through an existential crisis. Maybe that was just me in my early 20s and finally questioning this reality and existence that we all find ourselves in. But I didn't find myself doing that in my teenage years. And things happen in someone's life, whether it's grief or hardship. And it definitely made me question a lot of things. But at the end of the day, I just turned to Jesus, and that's just me. He offered me a lot of solace, for sure.
I grew up in South Florida, a very faith-based household, and was always surrounded by worship music and singing and just the love of God in the house. And I think what I was always really grateful for growing up was it never felt like the decision was made for me. It just felt like I was always surrounded by such love, and I think through that I then formed my own relationship with my faith on my own, which was something I'm very grateful. I had the setup, I had the environment, but at the end of the day, it was my heart to go through and do that work. But this movie means so much to me. I've always been very vocal about my faith. I think I talked about it, openly for the first time when I want to say 8 for an I Am Second video that I did. And I remember that my mom looked at me and she was like, is this really something that you want to do? Like, once you do this, you open yourself up to a lot of conversations and a lot of new eyes on you than, already being a kid in this business. And without hesitation was like, yeah, let's do it. And so since then, navigating the world of growing up is hard enough.
Yeah.
And then trying to do it under a microscope of opinions at all times, that's also very tricky. But I've always had my faith along the way, and I've had my private moments with that as well. But I think for me, what I was really grateful for personally was to be a part of a movie that really felt like it was reaching out to all people.
Was there one thing that at the end of the movie you were like, this is our favorite part of the entire movie?
For me, it's the road sequence just before the Where I Belong song, the interaction between Avery and Will, because I just think it's such raw emotion, and getting there was not easy. I mean, Bailey can like flip a switch in her head and be crying in an instant for a scene if it calls for it, which I do not know how she does that. And I know for me, like if a scene calls for me to cry, I can do it. I've figured it out over my short career.
How do you do it? So for those of us who aren't actors, how do you do it? Do you stab yourself with like a
well, that's
pocket knife?
that's what I was gonna say, which is like for me, my relationship with music and film and the arts is so synergistic that usually I've been doing this since I was like 16, but when I do need to cry for a scene, I'll step away, put in my AirPods, and I'll listen to a playlist that I have on my phone. I've had that playlist for many years now, but I listen to that playlist, and it's a lot of sad songs that I have like a personal relationship to what's being sung, and the melodies and some of the notes that are, I don't know, it's just like this weird synesthesia of notes and sound. And
is that a word, synesthesia?
I guess like how it comes together in the film. So it will take me like 2 hours, but I just like immerse myself into this playlist. And then, you know, I'll time it out that whatever 2 hours before we are supposed to shoot that scene, I will have listened to it, and then I can get to that state where I need to cry.
That scene actually, little fun fact, a lot of it was born the night before filming. And originally it wasn't supposed to be a duet between Kevin and I. I was supposed to start the Awesome God, and then he was supposed to go on with the God Only Knows. And once I had stepped in as a producer, the conversation started going back and forth between how do we connect these two individuals, so that way if no spoilers, we were to pull them apart, there was a foundation there. There was an understanding, and also this idea of deep pain and honesty and the power of music and faith. But Avery's whole thing, that when she stands up and does that, I don't know this, but this much I do, and she goes into her story that Will's listening to, that was Steve and Alan and I on a call, and then the night before kind of brainstorming, and the morning of again before the night shoot. And we were like, okay, I think this is it. And it's everyone is so beautiful in it. When Jabril stands up, when Ian stands up, when Kevin's singing, it's like, for me personally, that's my goosebump scene.
Yeah, it is powerful.
Yeah.
Brill, for you?
Bros like the
yeah, I mean, you took the words out of my mouth. My character is a lot less a less emotional journey. It's much more about just like coming to terms with like accepting his loving himself. It's less about like overcoming the deep pain that these two characters feel. Thankfully, I didn't have to cry in this film.
That's the same.
But yeah, I can't wait. I'm making my playlist right now.
Good.
But I think, I was actually going to say Dive. I think that was like the peak of like the high energy. I think that's the energetic climax of the movie. I'd have to watch it again to really like get down into the weeds with the analysis. But like at least to my memory, there were the most people on set that day. We were just like out there on the beach in the lake, splashing each other, having a great time. Like it was super sunny. Like the energy was, indescribable. It was definitely the most memorable day on set, and also just like it translates to screen like beautifully. Like it's so much fun. I can't think of another number that matches Dive.
Your moves are so good in it too, though. Like, sorry, he just said he wasn't a dancer, and like, I mean, him in this, he's a dancer. I mean, and
absolutely.
The funny thing is,
y'all are.
You picked up that choreography so fast. I remember you were just like, this is supernatural. I was like, yes, Jabril, like every rehearsal, it was spot on. So you're special in that. My
I
friend.
mean,
That
again,
beach
it was
scene is so much
Melina.
fun. Well, guys, thank you for your time. We are so excited about the new movie and everybody getting the opportunity to watch A Week Away. And I hope that everybody will sit down as a family and watch this, because this is one of those fun, faith-based family movies that I think will have everybody at points laughing and at points crying and really examining their own faith journey, which is just awesome. You guys did a very great job.
Thank you, Scott.
Thank you so much.
Wonderful speaking with
God.
you.
Likewise, God bless y'all.
Thank you. God bless you.
Thanks.
You,
You
man.
too.
Have a good day.
I want to go to camp with you guys.
Yes.
Come on.
Come on over
All
anytime.
right.
We'll see you soon.
Bye, guys.
Thank
Bye.
you.